Every member of the Bat family has gone through some level of intense trauma. They all deserve better, even the Batcow. But starting us off, number 10, Alfred. Alfred Pennyworth, quite possibly the most patient man on Earth. Alfred had to help raise Bruce Wayne in a lot of the Batman worlds. Not saying that that wouldn't be like a huge privilege, but look at him. Wayne is not always the most easy man in the world. Just being affiliated with a superhero or a billionaire, especially Bruce Wayne, is dangerous. Alfred unfortunately learned that firsthand. Well, many times over the years, but I'm specifically referencing the time that he was low-key Frankenstein and gained an evil alter ego against his will. It's a wild story. So some criminals set up a trap for Batman and Robin, but Alfred jumped in to save them and he didn't make it out the other side. A big funeral was held, a foundation in Alfred's name was created. Overall, that would be a beautiful ending for that character, so obviously that's not where it ended. This deranged man took Alfred's cold body so he could experiment on him with radiation treatments attempting to revive him. I mean, like, he was right because he did bring Alfred back, but they also completely messed him up. Once revived, Alfred became the outsider, a pale stone man that feels Alfred's emotions but flipped. So if Alfred had hated something before, he now loves it. And if he really loved something, he now really hates it. So he hates Batman and Robin and he wants to take them out. Thankfully, Bruce is rich and strong, so he stopped the outsider and was able to hold him while he founded the research to find a cure. The cure technically worked, Alfred got his old self back, but it was still like in him and would pop out every once in a while. And that's just one example of the garbage that Alfred has been through. I know that he gets paid really, really well though, so maybe that makes up for it. Number 9, Jason Todd. Jason Todd cannot catch a break. An exceptionally difficult life marked by tragedy and hardship from a very young age. Originally a street orphan in Gotham's crime alley, he lost his mother to substances and his father mysteriously disappeared after criminal involvement. In reality, his mom was alive, and then when he did travel halfway around the world to meet her, she sold him out to the Joker, causing his first demise. Bruce Wayne found him attempting to steal tires from the Batmobile and took him in, training him to become the second Robin after Dick Grayson. Despite his efforts, Jason's life took a darker turn after the Joker incident, an event that also deeply affected Batman. But after being resurrected, he returned as the anti-hero Red Hood, adopting more lethal methods to fight crime, believing that Batman's non-lethal approach was no longer effective against Gotham's increasingly dangerous villains. Jason's complex history of loss, betrayal, and his struggle to find his place within the Bat family highlight how much he has endured and why he deserves better. Recognition, understanding, and a chance at redemption beyond the pain and anger that have defined much of his life, and also a hug. I think he deserves a hug too. Bat-Mite is the ultimate Batman fan, which is like super relatable. He is described as being from the 5th dimension, he's been compared to a god, and is now used mainly as a hallucination, but he was once very, very real and did meet his hero. In fact, in many universes, he teamed up with Batman to help save the day. In some cases, he even bent reality to help Batman. I love Batman, but I can't bend reality, so I guess I'll just settle for second biggest fan. Bat-Mite has been around since the 1950s. The first version of him worked alongside another being from the 5th dimension, but reading that gives me like, it just gives me anxiety to try and read it. Mr. Mixelflix, whatever you want to call him. These two guys were known for being a little bit silly and pranking Superman and Batman. Into the 60s, Bat-Mite disappeared for a bit. He appeared a few times but was not as involved as he once was. Fans of Bat-Mite were naturally pretty upset, so they started to request that he make a triumphant return, and so some Bat-Mite-centered books were released in the 1970s. Into the 80s, 90s, Bat-Mite slowly became less an actual character and more like a hallucination, paranormal, that kind of vibe. It was the early 2000s that brought him back to the regular canon. Bat-Mite has appeared all over the place, not just on the page. Versions of him have appeared in TV shows and even video games. Number 7, Ace. Ace the Bat Hound. If there's an animal superhero, I don't care if they are the most loved character in the entire franchise, they deserve better. The most recent, most recognizable version of Ace the Bat Hound is probably the one from the 2022 animated movie DC League of Super Pets. Ace was voiced by Kevin Hart. Ace was Batman's first pet. He appeared in the mid-1950s in Batman 92. His owner got into some trouble with like the wrong kind of people and ended up in the river. Despite Ace's best efforts, of course, he fought until he passed out. When Ace woke up, he did go into the river to find his owner. but he couldn't. Robin spotted the dog, and Ace was picked up by Batman and Robin. They didn't keep the dog right away, they acted like the good guys, and they put up signs all over town looking for his owner. Obviously, we know that the owner will not be coming forward until the end. Crime never sleeps, especially not in Gotham City. As Batman and Robin were racing out of the Batcave, Ace ran out with them. Instead of sending the dog back home to his warm bed, they were like, I like his enthusiasm, and brought that dog along. Wild choice, but it did pay off. They gave him his own little bat mask, he became the Bat Hound, and eventually helped Batman and Robin catch the criminals. Ace gets taken back in by his OG owner, but gets lended out to Batman and Robin occasionally. Later versions of Ace were owned by Batman, or the Joker, or more recently, even Robin. Number 6. Tim Drake. Tim Drake might have recently had his debut in Fortnite, but I hardly think that erases the years of trauma, psychological manipulation, and injury that he's endured. His 16th birthday present from his billionaire father figure, mind you, was a nervous breakdown. Bruce had decided that Tim needed to take the next step in his Robin training, the next step being don't trust anyone and question everything, so he gaslit him for his birthday. He made Tim believe that he received a message from the future, that the family was going to fall apart if he didn't prevent it in the present, complete with a hologram from Alfred in which everyone's favorite butler ends up laser beamed at the end. Obviously, Tim kind of crashes out about this. He can't really trust anyone, he's chasing down imaginary leads, it's a lot for his age. Bruce, at the end of it all, kind of admonishes Tim for believing the prank in the first place. There's a line where he goes, I mean really, time travel? As if time travel doesn't happen every other weekend in this universe, as if the Flash, Bruce's own teammate, hasn't done that exact thing. And then there was the whole thing with Tim's bio dad, where Tim essentially was like on the phone with him when he was eliminated, which is just really rough. And now people are mad he's in Fortnite over the other Robins. Like, please just give Tim Drake a break. Number 5. Cassandra Cain. Cassandra Cain is one of Bruce Wayne's many adopted children. Her biological parents were eliminators, and they raised her to be a weapon. So, poor girl. She shockingly did not like hurting people. She was horrified when she first had to end someone's life, and personally, I would be too. She then did, truthfully, the only thing she could, the only option that would work for her. She ran away to the Batfamily, hoping that they could protect her. It's the Batfamily, so of course they can, and she became the 4th person to take on the Batgirl name. This is such a good option for her. She was raised as a literal weapon, so she probably can't just turn those instincts off, and she hates ending life. The Batfamily literally has a no-ending rule, no matter how much a villain and messes up that city. It's perfect for her. When she ran away, Cassandra Cain, later Wayne, had only been alive 8 years, so 8 years. Cassandra's training to become Cassandra Cain was so brutal, human rights violations left and right, she was never taught to speak. Instead, the parts of her brain used to learn to talk were instead used to learn to accurately anticipate an opponent's next move so you could retaliate appropriately. There was a long time where she didn't read or write very well either, just because her brain was messed with so much, and that's just her new Earth origin. I do want to tuck her into cozy blankets and just let her rest for once. Number 4. Jarro. The first alien to become Robin, Jarro, a beloved but underappreciated member of the Batfamily, is a clone grown from a surviving tissue sample of the villainous Starro and raised by Batman himself. Despite his origins as a conqueror, Jarro strives to be a hero, dreaming of fighting crime alongside his dad, Batman, and even considering himself the best Robin. Life for Jarro is uniquely difficult. He constantly struggles with the legacy of his villainous heritage, yearning for acceptance and a sense of belonging among heroes who once battled his predecessor. Though he has shown immense loyalty, courage, and even sacrificed his own happiness to protect the Justice League, Jarro remains on the margins, often overlooked and absent from recent stories despite his popularity with fans. Given his heartfelt desire to do good and the emotional growth that he has demonstrated, Jarro truly deserves a better chance to be embraced fully by the Batfamily and recognized for the hero he has become, rather than the villain that he was born from. Number 3. Julie Madison. Bruce Wayne's former fiancée is the first woman to ever wear the Robin costume. So we are not actually talking about ᵗ�ᵃᵘᵗᵏ. That is long before she was in the picture. Bruce was actually engaged to Julie Madison. As one of Bruce's first significant love interests, Julie has faced the painful reality of dating a man whose life is consumed by his secret vigilante mission. Her experiences reveal the difficulty of maintaining a relationship with Batman, who is often distant, secretive, and prioritizes Gotham's safety over his personal happiness. Julie has endured isolation, fear, and even danger, such as when she was manipulated by villains or caught in the crossfire of Bruce's double life. Despite the challenges, she has shown remarkable strength and understanding, and accepting the painful truth that Gotham needs Batman more than she needs Bruce. Her unwavering support and sacrifices highlight that, while she deserves better, a more stable life, one free from the shadows cast by Batman's relentless crusade. Even when she did try and live her life, the Batmanness still haunted her. She found her way onto Clayface's elimination list in Detective Comics 49, and it was also in this comic that she donned the Robin costume to fool Clayface, becoming the first female to do so. Number 2, the forgotten Robin, Carrie Kelley. Carrie Kelley, introduced in Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, has lived a life marked by hardship and neglect. Yet, she perseveres with remarkable courage. At just 13, Carrie grows up in a dystopian Gotham plagued by crime and corruption, with a school system and government that have completely failed its youth. Her parents, well, like, technically present, are so indifferent to her existence that they're, like, never or barely seen and barely remember they have a daughter. Despite this, Carrie uses her meager resources, like saving her lunch money, to buy a makeshift Robin costume, and takes it upon herself to fight crime, risking her own safety to help Batman and ultimately saving his life from the evil mutant leader. Her determination and ingenuity earn her a place by Batman's side, but she is constantly thrust into danger and often threatened with dismissal, forced to prove her worth in a world that rarely shows her compassion or support. And finally, number 1, Batgirl, the first Batgirl. The original Batgirl was not Barbara Gordon. It was actually Betty Cain. She was introduced and then forgotten just as quickly, only lasting like 7 issues before fading away. She was a niece to Kathy Cain, Batwoman, and the pair were intended to be love interests for Batman and Robin. So already, off to a really great start. The only reason the woman exists is for the man. Love that. Of course, they didn't last very long. And honestly, most people don't even know that Betty was the first Batgirl. As Batgirl, Betty wore certain colors to flatter her teammate Robin, so not because it was what she liked or what suited her. She really was, at the time, just an accessory to the Boy Wonder, but she did make a comeback in future comics, reimagined as her own hero, Flamebird. But what do you think? Let us know your favorite Bat family member in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. Bye, nerds!